You've been thinking about it for days, maybe even months. You replay every scenario, every possible outcome. You ask everyone for advice, but deep down, their words don't feel right. Somewhere inside, you already know what you want to do. You just don't trust it yet. The hardest part isn't making the decision, it's listening to the voice that already knows the answer. In this video, you'll learn how to quiet the noise in your mind so you can finally hear the voice that's been whispering beneath it all along. By the end, you'll have a simple 3-step way to trust your intuition and make clear, confident decisions even when fear tries to hold you back. The battle between logic and intuition. Every major decision we face begins with a quiet battle. The rational mind lists the facts. The emotional mind feels the pull. One side demands safety and proof. The other whispers possibility and change. Most of us get stuck between what makes sense and what feels true. We often believe good decisions are made with logic alone, that emotions are distractions, but emotion isn't the opposite of reason, it's the foundation of it. Neuroscientist Antonio Damasio found that people without access to emotion couldn't make decisions, even with all the facts. Emotion gives logic direction. Brené Brown says, when we numb the dark emotions, we also numb the light ones. When we silence feelings to stay rational, we cut off access to our inner guidance system. This quiet knowing is the part of us that already understands what we truly value. So what happens when we can't decide? It's not a lack of information, it's wrestling between logic and intuition. Logic gathers facts and keeps you safe. Intuition recognizes patterns your conscious mind hasn't caught up with yet. Logic speaks comfort. Intuition speaks growth. Mel Robbins says, "You're never going to feel ready, but if you count down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and move, you'll teach your brain that fear isn't the boss." We hesitate because we hope thinking more will bring clarity, but clarity rarely comes first. Movement creates it. Tony Robbins reminds us it's in your moments of decision that your destiny is shaped. Fear is always part of the equation. Logic keeps you grounded. Emotion guides you to what matters. Together, they create decisions that are smart and true. Annie Duke explains, we're all guessing under uncertainty. Good decision making isn't about being certain, it's about being willing to decide when you're not. Waiting for certainty is how fear masquerades as logic. Brené Brown adds, vulnerability is not weakness, it's courage. Acting on intuition is courageous because it demands honesty and risk. Why we ignore the inner voice. Your intuition is calm, simple, and steady, but fear often drowns it out. From childhood, we're trained to value logic over feelings. We believe rationality keeps us safe, but ignoring emotions disconnects us from one of the most accurate compasses we have, our internal guidance system. Daniel Kahneman explains we have 2 systems. System 1 is intuitive and emotional. System 2 is analytical and deliberate. Most of us live in System 2 because analysis feels safe. Yet emotion still drives which facts we notice and which we ignore. You can't escape it. It's always shaping your choices. Susan David says, emotions are data, not directives. They tell you what matters. Ignoring them is like trying to drive blindfolded. Brené Brown says, the opposite of belonging is fitting in. We silence our intuition to fit in, to stay safe, to choose what others expect rather than what feels right. Mel Robbins calls it the hesitation habit. You will never feel like it's the right time to make a hard decision, but if you wait for motivation, you'll wait forever. Fear sounds logical because it protects you from discomfort, but intuition is the part of you pointing toward growth. Kahneman's loss aversion bias explains why we fear losing what we have more than we desire what we could gain. We wait for certainty that will never come. Susan David reminds us, courage is fear walking. Listening to your intuition is courage in action. Fear and intuition can feel similar. Fear shouts, intuition whispers, fear tightens the body, intuition relaxes it. Tony Robbins says, your life changes the moment you make a new, congruent, and committed decision. Alignment between logic and intuition creates clarity and peace. Here is the 3-step framework to help you make the right decision. Step 1. Create stillness. Quiet the noise. Eckhart Tolle says, the primary cause of unhappiness is never the situation but your thoughts about it. Even 5 minutes of walking, breathing, or sitting can help your intuition surface. Jay Shetty adds, when you remove the noise, the answer becomes clear. Step 2. Ask, don't analyze. Shift from what should I do to what do I already know. Susan David. Courage is fear walking. James Clear. You do not rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. Ask inwardly and notice the feeling, not the explanation. Step 3. Move before fear returns. Mel Robbins, 5-second rule. Count down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Move. Momentum comes from action, not motivation. James Clear reminds us, action is the most effective form of clarity. Your brain learns to trust itself when you act on intuition repeatedly. Put it all together. Stillness reveals the voice, asking tunes you in, acting anchors the knowing. Tony Robbins, knowledge is not power, execution is power. Brené Brown, you can choose courage or comfort, but not both. This is how your inner voice becomes your guide. Reflect, when you ignored your intuition, hesitation dominated. That's not failure, it's learning. Each time you practice listening and acting, you train your brain to trust you. Momentum grows, fear weakens, confidence rises. Mel Robbins says, action isn't just a trigger for results, it's a signal to your brain that you are capable, brave, and in control. Brené Brown mentions, vulnerability is showing up and being seen when we have no control over the outcome. Acting on intuition is an act of courage. Rationality and emotion meet in alignment. Logic grounds you. Intuition guides you. Action is the bridge. The mind will slow you. Fear will whisper. But the inner voice is steady, clear, and waiting. Each choice is a vote for the life you want. Tony Robbins says that it's in your moments of decision that your destiny is shaped. Small, courageous actions accumulate into meaningful change. The voice that already knows has always been inside you. You just need to pause, listen, and move. You've learned why hesitation exists and how to hear the voice that already knows. You now have a 3-step framework. Create stillness. Ask, don't analyze. Move before fear returns. Use it today, tomorrow, and every time you face a hard decision. Each small action strengthens self-trust. Momentum grows. Fear weakens. If this video resonated, subscribe to Time to Pivot for more tools to help you make brave, clear decisions. Comment below. What is one decision you already know the answer to but haven't acted on yet? Remember, your inner voice is always there. You don't need more information. You don't need certainty. Pause, listen, and move. The voice that already knows is waiting. Remember, it's your time to pivot.